Yo and hello everybody, Mike here, baseball collector. It's Monday, it's President's Day, and there's no stock market today, so I'm off. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd do another beast mode, a little rummage through my slabs. I've been getting a lot of questions from newer subscribers who are saying, what the heck is beast mode? And it's kind of funny, but so the quick explanation. This right here is the Beast. It's a custom case that my dad and I built to hold all my slabs, and we call it the Beast. And so when I'm rummaging through it and just kind of checking out cards and showing stuff from it, it is called Beast Mode. So that's what it is. And there we go. So without further ado, let's get to some cards. I'll show you what I got in the next row here. Hang on one second. All right, so this episode here is going to cover, 69, about mid-1969 through early 1972 on this row. And so each row of the Beast holds about 80 to 90 slabs, depending on how full I've got it. We're starting off with a really good one here. Got a 1969 Topps Reggie Jackson rookie card in a VGEX4. The corners are beat to crap, but it's really well centered, and that's my Reggie Jackson rookie, so there's that one. Keeping on going, there is a 69 Topps Phil Niekro in a near mint 7. So the 3-decade set is what a lot of these cards are for. And everybody's like, what's the 3-decade set? A lot of times, and I'm trying to get a slabbed card for every Hall of Famer that's in every Topps set from 1960 to 1989. So it's, 1,400, 1,500 slabs is what it'll eventually be. And I'm about, a third to 40% done. There's a Cepeda in a 769. There is Don Drysdale. Hold on, I have to sneeze. Excuse me. There is the Don Drysdale near mint 7. This is Don's last card, so really nice card of Don Drysdale. I love the 69 Topps All-Star cards. Here is the Willie McCovey. Man, I'm doing really good today naming my players. Willie McCovey in a 5, but a really nice 5. There's the Rod Carew in a 6. My goal for 60s cards is to try to get a 6 or better if I can, and if it just makes more sense economically speaking, I'm going to get a 5 or even a 4 for the bigger guys. Here is a Ron Santo in a 6. All-Star, I like the little inset. You got the color picture and then a black and white kind of action photograph in these. There is the Carl Yastrzemski. It's just a beautiful baseball card. Great design. There's the Bob Gibson. You can see a little snowing on this card down here and all around here, around his face. That's not ideal, but the card's pretty sharp otherwise. I love this next card. It's a beautiful card of Tom Seaver. This is actually in the top 300, and this is a third-year Seaver. 67 was his rookie, near mint 7, and that one, just beautiful baseball card right there too. Here's the Mantle, and what they did, this one I can talk about it because it's the most famous one. So you see it says last name in yellow. Some of them were last name in white. It's a variation on the card. And the Mantle for this year, 69, this is Mantle's last card. And so that last name in white version is incredibly expensive regardless of the grade. So still trying to get that. That's in the top 300. I'm working on that one. That's a goal card for me. There's a high grade near mint 8 Al Lopez Hall of Fame manager. Might have heard of this guy before. This is the 69 Ryan, which is a very iconic card because it's his first card solo. He was 68 Topps with Jerry Koosman on his rookie card. So this is also a very expensive card in high grade. I have a 5 on that one. I like this next one. Ted Shows How. So it's got Ted Williams and Mike Epstein for the Washington Senators. Williams was the manager for that team, and just a great picture showing Ted Williams trying to teach guys how to hit. And he had to be thinking, there's no way you guys are going to hit as good as me, but I'm going to do my best to teach you. And hopefully some of that stuck and he made them better players, but that's a neat card there. There's a Willie Stargell. A lot of people ask me also when I say Bob Lewis on a Pirates card. Bob Lewis is a fellow YouTuber, and he loves the Pirates. And so a couple of us have taken to calling our Pirates cards Bob Lewis cards. But there's Willie Stargell in a 6. I've got the Brooks Robinson in both a 7 and then one of those. Oh man, I can't believe I already had that card, and I do that occasionally. There's a 6 of the same card, 69. I don't mind having 2 of them. They're awesome. Here we go with a Hoyt Wilhelm in a near mint to mint 8. There's really not a huge difference on these cards. They're white borders between an 8 and a 7 and a 6. I mean, centering or corners, but overall they look incredibly similar, really. Here's 2 Hall of Famers for the Giants. Nate, Topps 85 401. Willie McCovey, Juan Marichal, Giants heroes. And they were, for sure. There's the Jim Palmer in 69 in a 6.5. I'll do this one a little bit different. This is a rookie card of Raleigh Fingers in a 6. Great card there. Here's the actual manager card for Ted Williams in 69. This is also, I think, part of the top 300 by Mike Payne. And that's my last 69 card. So there you go, Ted Williams. Love this card. It's in the top 300 cards by Mike Payne. 1970 Kellogg's, Roberto Clemente. These cards are susceptible to cracking. This is the first year the Kellogg's cards was 1970. And I've always loved them and had a soft spot in my heart for these. They're just really cool and kind of quirky, and I just really enjoy them. Here's a Hoyt Wilhelm, 1970 Topps. Here we go into 70 Topps. Got some league leader cards with Hall of Famers on them. You got Rod Carew as the batting leader from 69, along with potential future Hall of Famer Tony Oliva. This one's great. It's got 3 Hall of Famers on it: Marichal, Carlton, and Gibson. So that's neat. Got the ERA leaders from 69 on the 70 Topps card with Jim Palmer, Hall of Famer. Got a couple of them on this one here. You got Fergie and Bob Gibson on the strikeout leaders. Hold on, I'm going to get some things situated here. Stare at Fergie and Bob for a second. Pick some stuff up and get some other stuff out. All right, here comes second year Reggie Jackson. Again, one of those cards that's tough to get in a high, not tough to get, expensive to get in a high grade. And so this one is a 5. Here's the Billy Williams from 70 with the Cubbies in a near mint 7. Sparky Anderson, Reds manager, in a 6. Now, I'd love to hear you guys tell me kind of what you're looking for when I'm doing this, what you like to hear about, what you like me to talk about, or do you just like seeing the slabs? You know, I just appreciate feedback. Always wanting to make my channel better, so feel free to put a comment down below and let me know what you like, what you don't like. I can take it. Here's a Thurman Munson rookie. This is a card I sent in myself a long time ago, and I thought it was going to grade better than a 4, but apparently PSA disagreed, and I got a 4 on the Munson rookie. Here's another. I got a couple of sideways cards coming. Here is from the 69 playoffs when the Mets won the World Series. Ryan saves the day. He wasn't a starter yet back then. He was a relief pitcher with crazy control problems and crazy speed. So Ryan saves the day there. That's a 7. This is in the top 300 cards. I've also got it and a 5. So those two. Next up is Leo the Lip DeRocher, manager of the Cubs, Hall of Fame manager that is. I sent this card in too a long time ago, and it got a 6, but it's a Clemente 1970. Iconic card there. Got Jim Bunning in a 6. The 70 All-Star cards are similar in design to the 1961s, where you have the kind of newspaper, the player's face breaking through the newspaper headline from the Sporting News. And there's the McCovey in a 6. Got several of these. There's the Brooks Robinson, also in a 6. There's the Hank Aaron in a 4. Recently passed away Frank Robinson in a 7, but a beautiful card there. And here's one of the greatest catchers of all time. There are people that would disagree that he is the greatest of all time, Johnny Bench in a 5. So here's a cool card I want to talk about. This is the Hank Aaron 1970 Topps. And what's interesting about this card is it's an 8 OC, and this was graded a long time ago because not even a hologram or a lighthouse holder on this one. But I love this because to me it's not really that off-center. I mean, it is off-center, but it's not totally distracting from the card. And the rest of it's an 8, so that to me is totally just fine. I mean, the back of the card is not bad at all. So it's an 8 OC, as you can see there. Not that bad. Love this next one. We're getting into some big guys. Here's the Willie Mays. Notice that print line along the top right up here. You can see a print line, a white print line. That's incredibly common for 70 Topps. And they're just, they don't call it a print defect, but it kind of is. But a 7 nonetheless. There's a 6 of the Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench has some great cards. 69 is fantastic. 70 is awesome with him posing, catching, just really neat. So that's the last Topps card I have for 70. I've got, starting in 71, I'm a big Willie Mays fan, and so I try to just look for things occasionally, quirky things, different things, and I love these 1971 Dell Today's Team stamps. They're obviously perforated, and so very difficult to keep in high grade. I got this one in a 9, which is very nice. This next card is awesome. It's a 71 Topps Thurman Munson. A lot of people really love this card and think it's the most iconic Thurman Munson card there is, as well as just one of the nicest cards, period, because of the great action shot, the rookie cup. 71 is so tough with the borders. You're gonna see that a lot as I get into my 71s. But this one's an excellent 5, which I sent in myself, and you can see the whites on the corners for sure. But just an awesome card, beautiful. Here comes a Burt Blyleven rookie, and I'd love to get this higher graded, but it's just really expensive and higher grades. So I just have a 6 on that one. Jim Catfish Hunter in a 6.5. I really like half grades. A lot of people don't like them. I personally don't care. I just want a nice looking card. Here's some league leaders we're coming up on. There is Joe Torre as one of the batting leaders in 1970. Here's strikeout leaders. You know, you're seeing a theme here. You see the same guys kind of showing up in the different categories. You got Seaver, Gibson, and Jenkins on this one. There's a beautiful Al Kaline. Again, on the 71s, because of the condition issues and how sensitive it is, I am certainly not picky about getting 5s and 6s in the 71s. If I can get them for a good price, I'm happy to do it. Here's a non-Hall of Famer, but This is in the top 300 cards by Mike Payne. It's the 71 top Steve Garvey. I remember that being a big deal card when I was a kid. And it was a little before my time, but it was a sought-after card during the 80s because Garvey was in the height of his career and having a great career. Here's the Billy Williams in 71 in a 6. This might be the first 7, which would be a collector grade for the 70s in 71 tops. Again, just because they're so pricey and collector grade and higher. Don Sutton there. Here is the Hank Aaron in an excellent mint 6. Got a couple of these coming up. Mr. Let's Play 2, I guess. Not Say Hey, that's Willie Mays. Ernie Banks here in a 4. This is Ernie's last card. And I love the look on his face. He just looks excited, like always. So I have it in a 4. And then I upgraded it. Got a much better grade in a 7 on this one. And you got Hall of Fame manager Walt Alston in a 6. I have a bunch of Alston cards coming tomorrow. I'll be showing them off in my mail day. Here's an 8 on a high number Jim Bunning. Beautiful. You can see the difference. And the 8s are much crisper. Corners are in much better shape. Doesn't mean they're perfect at all, but they're just better. There's the Mays. One of my least favorite Mays cards. He just looks mad. So there's my last 71. Now we're into 72. We're getting towards the end, guys. I am working on this set for the set registry, and this is an old slab, so there's a lot of goofy. You can see how unclear it is. And these Kellogg's are smaller, so they don't fit in the older slabs. They didn't do as good a job securing everything. I mean, if I can turn it, there you go. You can see a little bit better, get a better angle on it. But I love these all-time baseball greats cards from Kellogg's in 72, so I started the set. I only need one more card to finish it, and then I'll do a showcase on that. But there's the Walter Johnson in an 8. Getting these in high grade isn't tough. You can find them in high grade pretty easily, actually. There's Hornsby is the greatest second baseman. The greatest manager in 72 when they did this, John McGraw, which still might be the greatest manager. Greatest catcher at the time was Mickey Cochran. Obviously, Johnny Bench and, gosh, Carlton Fisk hadn't even started. Pudge hadn't started. Berra's career was just over. So, Cochran is the greatest catcher. George Sisler is a first baseman finalist. Amazing career for Sisler. A couple guys have several cards. Babe Ruth has a couple of cards in this set, and you can see he is the greatest ever. I love it. Very appropriate for that, for Babe Ruth. Greatest ever. Here is Pie Traynor, who at the time was voted the greatest third baseman. Again, Mike Schmidt wouldn't start his career till 1972, or 73. There you go. But a mint 9 on that one. 7.5 on this Honus Wagner is the greatest shortstop. Greatest second baseman was Eddie Collins. I'm sorry, second baseman finalist. So you see just all-time greats here. Just awesome, awesome. There is a Tris Speaker as a center fielder finalist. Believe it or not, Cy Young was just a right-handed pitcher finalist. Most wins ever, 511. And he's just a finalist. And you got Lou Gehrig, which no doubt the greatest first baseman. That's in a mint 9, so really pretty example of that. I love the 3D effect, and it's not terribly high-tech, but it's just cool. So not only is Babe Ruth the greatest ever, but he's also the greatest right fielder, so he's on there twice. One more of these. It's a 15-card set. Again, I'm missing just one, Lefty Grove. And there's Ty Cobb as the greatest left fielder. A couple of 72 tops in this row, and then 2 more cards, and we're done for today. Here's the Carl Yastrzemski, 72 tops and a near mint 7. We'll talk about 72 probably more in my next video, or my next rummage, because I'll have a lot more 72s to show. But what they did a lot was you'd have the base card, see that's card number 37, and then they would have an inaction card of the same player for a bunch of the veterans, and showing just a action shot of them playing, either fielding or hitting or something, and that's a near mint 7 on that, and it's card number 38. So 37 would be the base card, and then the base card would be, and then they'd have right after that the inaction card of that same player. So right next to each other, which I think is a good way to do it. So there's the Yastrzemski and the inaction, also in the 7. So there you go. That's my rummage for today. Another row down and a bunch more to go. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and keep collecting.